So it's not the first time and probably not the last time we're going to hear about some of the, I guess, behind-the-scenes troubles and trying to line up Ant-Man and the Wasp with Avengers Infinity War. So what exactly am I talking about? Well, recently we did find out from Kevin Feige and the director of Ant-Man and the Wasp, Peyton Reed, just exactly what the status of the film was, specifically talking about Ant-Man and the Wasp, pretty much just the months leading up to its release. And originally Kevin Feige said that at one point the movie was not in a very good stage. They were still trying to figure everything out and piece it together and how they wanted to do. After that interview, Peyton himself came out and wanted to talk a little bit more about how some of the collaborative process for the movie worked. Essentially, he got brought in for Infinity War and he knew what was happening when he was writing his movie. And at that point, they were actually trying to figure out which direction are they going to take Ant-Man and the Wasp in, and when is the finger snap going to happen. And from what he said is at one point, it actually happens during the middle of the movie. And that kind of shifted the tone of everything that was happening in a huge way. Now, obviously, I think you can understand what happens. If you're in the middle of the movie and you're thinking, okay, this is going to be cool, but then suddenly people start turning into dust, that's a problem. Because, believe it or not, yes, there are people that haven't seen Infinity War and they'll go and see this one and then they'll go, wait, what? They're like, what is happening? People are turning into dust. So ultimately they settled on including that scene during the mid-credits, which honestly I think works out for the best, because if you're a person that watches Marvel Studios movies, you know to stay for the credits. And if you stayed, you probably saw Infinity War, so you got the full effect. Having it in the middle of the movie would have changed everything. Suddenly you got this weight of the world literally coming down on you. People are disappearing, and then you're having to deal with the whole fallout of Ghost and everything and that story. And that would have been a pretty substantial shift in the tone, the humor, and everything else in there. So I'm honestly glad that they decided not to go with that. As much as I think it would have been insane and risky to go with it, that would have completely shifted the tone of the movie in the most unpleasant way possible. So I like what they did, but I can see why they might have considered at one point doing it the other way, because it's a huge risk factor and it would have took everybody by surprise.